The boy still had to go to school, but ever since Kiki passed away, he had become weaker, quieter. He no longer spoke to his classmates, completely shutting himself off from the world. In his class, there was a fat boy and a skinny boy. They blocked his path, sneering at him. "You're just a weakling. Your dog is dead, and now you've got no one to play with. You're just a lonely freak." Then they beat him up. That night, the boy went to bed filled with fear. More than anything, he wished for Kiki to come back to him. If only Kiki returned, he wouldn't have to be alone. He was exhausted, sinking into sleep with the desperate hope that he would never have to wake up and go to school again. But the story I want to tell isn't about the boy. It's about Kiki. If you linger too long, you will become a wandering spirit, forever watching your master until the day he forgets you, replaces you with another dog, and laughs with it like he once did with you. Then you will be consumed by hatred, turning cruel and dark. You will never be reborn as a human in the next life. Kiki's spirit silently shook its head. It believed that if it stayed here one day, its master would see it. It refused the chance to reincarnate as a human. Time passed. The boy grew up, and his childhood memories of Kiki faded. 5 years, 10 years. Yet every day, Kiki's spirit still wagged its tail, greeting its master when he returned home, only to feel its heart sink when the boy failed to notice. Day after day, Kiki's sorrow deepened, its sadness gradually hardening into a raging storm of resentment. Its eyes darkened, no longer holding the pure, loving gaze of the dog it once was. The anger made Kiki follow its master everywhere. It lingered beside him, an invisible shadow filled with the desperate urge to pull him into death. If only his master could die, they would be reunited. The longing burned so fiercely that it gave Kiki a strange, unseen power. At first it was subtle, making knives slip in his hands, causing small cuts on his fingers, tripping him on stairs, sending cramps through his legs while he swam. But the accidents were too minor. His master never noticed. Kiki's yearning was not strong enough to pull him into the embrace of death. Not until the day the boy brought home a new puppy. It was a puppy that looked exactly like Kiki. Beautiful, small, and with the same soulful, glistening eyes. The boy adored it, pampered it, bathed it, and fed it, just as he had once cared for Kiki. Kiki's sorrow grew unbearable. Its spectral form twisted, transforming into something wolf-like. Its once soft fur darkened with an inescapable, cursed shadow. The pain festered into a raw, merciless desire. It was enough to push its master into the path of an oncoming truck. The accident took his foot. It would never fully heal. In the days that followed, while his master lay in the hospital, where pets were not allowed, Kiki felt peace for the first time in years. Once again, it was just the two of them. Kiki watched as his master met a kind doctor, saw their affection slowly bloom, witnessed 6 months of quiet love taking root, and then finally the boy was discharged. Waiting at the door was the little dog, the new Kiki, wagging its tail excitedly. Kiki howled in rage. Why hadn't his master died? Why wouldn't he return to Kiki? Didn't he feel Kiki's presence? Didn't he see Kiki wagging its tail too, longing for his touch? Why? Why? Kiki no longer cared. It wanted nothing more than to bring its master back, to hold the knife in his hand, to press it against his skin, to carve open the distance between them and make him understand. It didn't care if by doing so, it would lose itself forever. If it did this, it would no longer be a dog, nor a ghost, but a twisted, empty thing, nothing more than a soulless beast wandering in the dark. But Kiki accepted that fate because it had loved its master too much. "Kiki, I want to marry her." His voice was soft, confiding in the little dog curled up at his feet. "Kiki, she's the person I love most in this world, but my leg, would I only bring her suffering?" "Kiki, if only you were still alive, I would let you meet her." Kiki froze. In the final moment, before the knife cut his skin, it suddenly felt light, weightless. Its master was speaking to it, not the new Kiki. Tears slid down the boy's face, each drop carrying a silent confession. He spoke about the woman he loved, about his broken body, about the fears that kept him awake at night. Every word reached into the abyss of Kiki's despair, pulling it back from the edge. The darkness drained away. Kiki's spirit flickered, returning to its original form. Just a small, faithful dog, ears drooping, eyes filled with sorrow. It turned away, tail tucked, and walked out of the house. "Because I loved you too much," Kiki whimpered, its voice nothing more than a broken echo in the wind. And then, from the shadows, a voice called out, "It's time for you to come with me." Epilogue. The ending of this story, as I was told, is that Kiki's spirit had been tainted. It could never be reborn as a human, nor could it ever reunite with its master. It had to pay the price for a love too desperate, a longing too consuming. When a soul is stained black, there is no next life, only emptiness. But I rewrote this story. I hope Kiki found peace, because even humans, when they make mistakes, can still atone for them. So maybe, just maybe, Kiki too deserved another chance.